Today, I interviewed Alishah, who used AI to power her book.
Work on that idea, I hit a wall immediately because I can't draw, like at all.
But really, her AI journey started at her internship.
I remember even at my interview, when I did my interview with him, he was like, "Do you know how to use AI? Can you incorporate AI for our company to grow?"
And of course, I just had to ask for her number one advice to people who want to get into the AI space.
So you think it looks good on your college application or your resume? People can tell the difference between something built out of genuine passion versus something built just to be flexed.
My name's Haroon Nota, and welcome to the AI Founder Series. All right, Alishah, it's great to have you on today.
Hi, Haroon. How are you?
You're doing great, Yourself?
I'm doing amazing. So nice to be here.
Honestly, it really is. It's great to talk to you today. But I do have a question. You're on this podcast, on an AI Founder Series podcast, when your company is not directly an AI company. But before we get to that, I want to ask you, what is Kidonomix? If I'm saying it right,
So,
Kidonomix, right?
Kidonomix, yes.
Okay.
So, Kidonomix is a research backed, professor endorsed storybook series that teaches kids ages 4 to 8 core economic concepts like financial literacy, saving, decision making, delayed gratification through stories instead of lectures. The idea actually goes back to the summer before my freshman year of high school. So around quarantine, I made a bucket list of things I wanted to do, and writing a children's book was on it because I've always been a huge reader as a kid. But when I started to work on that idea, I hit a wall immediately because I can't draw at all. So I had no way to illustrate the book. I had nobody I knew that would help me out in that. So the idea just sat there. And then fast forward to after I graduated high school, so last year, generative AI, especially image and video generation, really took off. I think it was around the time when Sora AI was coming out too. And
Oh,
I
that was a crazy
basically,
time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what made me realize that that was low key the missing piece. Like I didn't need an illustrator to start this thing, and I could just use AI to bring my idea to life without needing an illustrator. And while brainstorming, I was like, you know what? Why not pair the original idea of writing a children's book with my career, which I wanted to do something in business, economics, finance. And that's where Kidonomix came in.
Really? So you use generative AI to work in your book because you couldn't do the illustration. That's a
Yeah.
concept I haven't heard of. Like a lot of people try and attempt at that, and a lot of people don't work it well. I'll put a picture of your cover of the book right now just to show people what it looks like. But of course, generative AI is one of those spaces where a lot of people have a lot of hot takes in, right? Because people are like, well, it's not original content, but it's also original. So how was the process of getting AI involved? Like, was it tough? Did you have to prompt engineer through it, or how did that process look like?
So it was not easy, at all. When I tell people that I used AI to help me start my series, they're like, "Oh, you just copied and pasted ChatGPT onto a storyboard and just published the book." But no, I actually had to research so much. I think if you want one of the examples that I use for AI was Bing AI. I even researched that, and I had to research, first of all, which AI is good at cartoon designs. Second of all, which one can stay consistent through its designs, through its
Yeah.
generation. And third, if it was free. I was not about to spend money on something I had no idea of. I still don't know much about AI, back then I didn't know anything. So when first I looked at so many different options, but when I found the options I wanted to use, I prompt engineered through it. I used other platforms to help me make those those pictures. And even then, it was so hard because every image was inconsistent. It was not every generation was not cropped. It was just messed up. AI was not it wasn't developed at that time like it is now. Even right now, it's not that good, image generation and stuff. But I like that's where like Canva and like Canva's AI tools really helped me out. And even then I had to manually go in, graphic design, like all the dimensions, all the like colors, like the cover. I made that like on my own using AI, but like I spent like hours on that alone. It was I had to restart like 3 times halfway through the book. It took so long. That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't easy at all, and it's still not perfect. Like it's still I look at it, I'm like, I don't like it at all. But
Yeah.
you learn and you like, as you like the trial and error process taught me so much.
I get it. Because like I mean that's been an issue since day one with AI generation. Like of course year by year it does get better kind of exponentially, but there's always going to be that line where it's like wow, it's not perfect, it's not perfect, it still can't get it right. And I'd say that's what made generative AI tough, especially even in just writing alone it was tough. Now you're trying to get into image generation and using that for kids is really hard. But I do have a question. Why financial literacy, but also why ages 4 through 8?
That's a really good question. I think so. When I was first researching if this was even going to work, even like I talked about this in my research paper and in my study, financial literacy matters so much early because kids start forming like real economic behavior way before when we start teaching them about money. Like
Good.
around the time kids start getting allowance, even before that, they're capable of things like saving, comparing trade offs, and stuff. So, like, it's actually just backed up by developmental psychology. But the problem is that it's not taught in school like at all until after. Like it's not structured in elementary school, and that's where the gap comes in. Like kids develop like they develop so many things early on, and that's what like it matters long term. Financial literacy is actually linked to like better saving habits, less debt, better financial decision making as adults. Like some organizations have said that financial education should start even before elementary school in childhood, specifically because like the attitudes kids form early, they tend to stick with them long term. Like even when they start earning money in high school, when they get their first jobs, if you start teaching them then, it's like already too late because like those habits and attitudes are already set before that. And like that was like the whole thesis like for Kidonomix. It's just like instead of waiting until later, how about we start forming those financial habits early on through storytelling, not through like in school, not through a class, like through books. And kids
Mhm.
love picture books. I don't even like reading anymore, but like when I was a kid, I used to love reading. Like children's books are my favorite. And it's a great way to teach them this.
Yeah, I mean, might as well grab their attention while you're trying to give them life lessons. I didn't know that though, that like that form of financial literacy begins before you even understand what finances are, right? Like you said, comparing options and like running through all that stuff. I mean, that's I haven't really thought about that, nor have I really understood that field of it. And it's very interesting that you bring that up. But a question I do have is this: you said you ran a study, right, or a research project. Last I checked, you ran a behavioral project on kids. What was the study on, or what was the research on, and what did you find?
So the research was just me reading my book, but before I read my book, I would ask them questions about saving and stuff. I would show them money, be like, "Hey, like would you save this? Would you not?" And there's a lot of details that go into this that I talk about in my research paper. But mainly the thing was after I read them my book, do and ask them the same questions, do they show that they actually got something from the book? And it's actually crazy. Like I'm editing my paper right now, and that's the results were really surprising. Like I actually found out that kids knew what was like the most optimal answer, like a saving answer. What like their minds aren't a blank slate. They know it's good to save. It's better to save money than to like impulsively buy something. But so like it's still like they don't have actual like resources to like learn that stuff. And from my study, it's actually my book is actually like research back now because it actually gave a good like positive correlation that they know, and my book works because all of the questions that I asked, their
Mhm.
answers improved at the end. So
Good. I mean,
Yeah.
you're right. If they're gonna learn like these type of finances so early, might as well teach them how to properly behave financially in the future, right? And
Yeah.
especially at such a young age, because like we see it all the time, right? We know people who buy things impulsively because they just feel like it, right? Or they
Yeah.
think it's a good idea in the moment. That comes from that age, which that's still surprising me right now,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
But like going back to your history a little bit, right? You interned at a company and you said AI was the core of that. Can you explain your internship a little bit more and why AI was the core of that?
Yeah. So I almost interned for almost a year at Awesome Solutions. It's a 3PL company based in New Jersey. And AI was like the actually the core part of how we approach growth. So my CEO, I remember even at my interview, when I did my interview with him, he was like, "Do you know how to use AI? Can you incorporate AI for our company to grow?" And he encouraged me to use it not as a tool but to actively something to use while brainstorming strategy with, especially around like SEO, improving how like our brand shows up on AI platforms, especially like since more DTC brand owners were starting to use um like ChatGPT, Claude instead of Google, and trying to find like 3PLs. And
Mhm.
AI came into everything I did, like researching prospects faster, like actually looking into what sources AI pulls from when you ask about 3PLs, and drafting, refining outreach, like content stuff, how it would perform on traditional search and on AI driven platforms. Our thinking was that like as consumers and businesses start relying more heavily on AI to make decisions, we have to get ahead of that shift early rather than react to when it's already the norm, which is like now.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
obviously you're in university right now, right? And you were obviously just in high school. Between high school and university, how do you think AI played a part in that? Or what did you learn from those about AI? What's your major right now in university?
Economics and industrial engineering.
So you're in economics and industrial engineering. In high school, what was your main focus? Like, what did you think you wanted to do, or what were you knowledgeable in?
I took a bunch of intro classes in high school, like intro to healthcare, intro to computer science, and I didn't like any of it. So I knew that I wanted to get into like business, economics, finance, stuff like that. So I knew that like AI wouldn't be a problem as much if I just like focused on the human end of stuff.
Mhm.
And so like even right now, like through my internship, through like my Kidonomix, I'm trying to stay at the most human end while using AI to help me out.
Interesting. And between your university courses in economics and industrial engineering, what have you learned about AI from there? Or have you
I've
learned anything from AI?
I think I've learned about AI more in during my internship and with Kidonomics than I have in school. Of course, I just did my first year. Like I'm not gonna learn that much about like immersion AI. But I think the biggest thing that I learned is that AI is fundamentally changing search behavior. Like not
Mhm.
just for everyday consumers, but also like brand owners, CEOs, even entire marketing departments are starting to use like AI platforms like ChatGPT and Claude as search engines instead of going straight to Google.
Yeah.
And it has I told like that's why I said like it has become the new norm. And honestly, like I would say if Google hadn't built its like AI overview or AI chat mode thing, it
They'd
would
be
be getting
gone.
replaced. Yeah, it would be getting replaced way faster than it already is. Like even my mom like searches up random stuff on like Claude instead of Google now. And like I think the biggest thing that I learned, like even in school, even like from my internship especially, is that for companies to get discovered going forward, they can't just focus on like oh like AI, like traditional SEO stuff. They have to think about how their content gets like surfaced and cited by AI platforms, like each like different AI platforms specifically, especially like heading on to like 2027 beyond. That's gonna be like that has to be your main priority. Like that's when I want to start marketing for Kidonomics as well, and I know what I'm gonna do, and it's through like AI. I'm gonna use AI to market my stuff.
I love that. I mean, learning AI through all these experiences and learning like you learn more from actively using it than you did just from reading a book. And I'd say that's what a lot of people are missing, that active experience, right? You had that from your internship. You didn't just sit around and like not learn anything. You actually learned how to properly implement AI. And I'm glad that you got an intern interview with the CEO. That's incredible. I don't hear a lot about that. So it's honestly like that type of experience is something that builds you in your career and also in your knowledge. But when it comes to your knowledge, right, with what you know from AI across all your experiences, knowing that, and you're also honestly including your experience in generative AI, which is not a lot of people I know are even in that. What would you tell someone who just wants to start building something? They don't know what they want to do, but they know it's something AI related. What's one piece of advice that you could give them?
I think if somebody wants to start working with AI, like even start their own business, start like building apps, I've seen like a growth in that a lot. I'd say do it, like 100%, do it now and do it. But the biggest thing, it's not like prompt engineering, it's not like working like with specific platforms. It's just that like do it because you actually care about the problem or idea, not just like so it you think it looks good on your college application or your resume. People can tell the difference between something built out of genuine passion versus something built just to be flexed. And I have seen that through and through with so many of my friends, so many people on LinkedIn that I've met, some people I've networked with. It will never, like the authenticity shows up in the work itself. And it's usually like what makes people actually trust and engage with what you have built. And I would also like say don't be afraid to be niche, like mix your own hobbies, mix your interests instead of chasing whatever's trendy. Like I think that's what actually creates a real brand. AI makes it way easier to like execute an idea, like for me, like for example, like but the idea still has to come from something real, and which is you, like that is you.
Mhm.
And that's the part like AI cannot replace and will never be able to do.
I get that. Use it as a toolbox. Don't use it as the nail. The nail and the wall is you, but the AI is the hammer.
Yeah,
I
I
get
can see
I
that.
get that. Well, seriously, we're running out of time, so let's go hit the rapid fire section real quickly. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Claude or ChatGPT?
Claude. ChatGPT is a people pleaser. I don't like
It's gone.
ChatGPT.
It's
Yeah.
done. My
No.
mom's still on ChatGPT now.
Really?
So
My mom
that's
was
how you know
Claude.
it's gone.
Like
They're
actually.
kind of she's kind of on it, but also like she knows that ChatGPT has all her like personal history and like it knows
Yeah.
everything about her. So like that switchover is a bit tough for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Okay. Do you like to work from an office or do you like to work from anywhere in the world?
I'd say anywhere in the world. I am the most productive on my couch. Like,
Really?
yeah, like I think your comfort matters more, and that's what helps you stay at peace in your brain.
Fair enough. Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee. I am so against energy drinks. They are so bad for you.
Seltzers can't be that bad.
No, they're so bad for you, bro.
All right. What about how do you like your coffee though?
I'm more of a chai person, like, but I like my coffee warm and
Mm-hmm.
sugary, sweet.
Sure. Milkshakes,
Yeah,
basically. Do you
yeah.
like to wake up to an alarm or do you like to wake up just anytime you happen to?
Honestly, anytime. I saw this one person on TikTok actually set a timer for 8 hours and wake up after 8 hours. No set time, just like get
Really?
those 8 hours in. I think I'm gonna start doing that, honestly.
That sounds smart. Dude, I lost like so many hours today because I woke up at 1 p.m. I wish I just had that alarm.
Nah, not me.
Do you like to work at things like, let's say if you have a task, do you like to just grind it out until it's done? Or do you like to take it on in chunks and take breaks in between?
I think I would love to just grind and do everything on like in one sitting, but I just can't focus for that long. So I think balance is key.
Yeah.
So just chunks. Just don't
Chunks,
stress
fair
yourself
enough.
out. Yeah.
And obviously, the most important question, cereal before the milk or milk before the cereal? And there is a right or wrong answer.
I don't even like cereal. I don't even eat cereal, but I would say milk before cereal. I cut.
He's gone. He's gone. Oh my God. I've never heard anyone say that. No one has said that yet. Out of the 7 episodes I've had, no one has said that.
I think
You're
that's
the
more
first.
efficient. It's more efficient if you put the milk back in the fridge and you take your bowl and cereal with you to your table, wherever you're eating, you can refill your bowl how many times you want without getting up and
Why are
getting
we
food.
optimizing for cereal?
Because it's come on, like bro, like you have bro, IE, bro, IE.
I guess. You know what? But seriously, Alishah, it was great having you on today. Great conversation. I'm going to put all the links in the description, the LinkedIn, the Kidonomix, everything like that. Everyone, go check that out. Seriously, she's amazing. She's crazy at this. So, seriously, thank you and thank you for your time today. All right.
Thank you so much.